Hello, my friends, and Merry Christmas weekend. I hope you guys had a wonderful Christmas and Boxing Day, and I hope that you're having a good weekend and maybe decompressing if you were busy, or just continuing the vibe if you were solo and kind of low key, or just low key with friends. But I tell you, I am just kind of you know, kind of a strange mood, just kind of a chill vibration right now. But I wanted to come on tonight and kind of see how everyone was doing, but also just kind of tell you, what I've experienced the past couple of days, just kind of touching base with things and it with the world and what's happening. It's pretty wild. And I just think that we are in for a an incredible time here coming up in the near future. Something that we've been waiting for quite some time. And so I am just like, you know, I'm gonna go to your comments here before we get started, and just kind of get your uh, take on how you feeling, your Christmas spirit before we get into kind of some of the craziness. It's kind of like I hope that we were all able to just disconnect a little bit from the matrix and just kind of enjoy our time with God, our time with family, our time with celebrating the birth of Jesus, even though we know much more about that. And, is it the 25th? Is it all of that? And so, but using it, the time that has been created in our present experience to just reflect and connect, I think is more important than, any conspiracy or anything of that nature. But let me get to you all. Jay Aqua first in the house. Good to see you, my friend. How are you, Lisa? Hope everyone had a wonderful Christmas. And Polar Bear Paws. Good evening, awake beings of this rapidly changing world. Is true. William Weaver, welcome. Good to see you. Good. Magatini, good evening, wordsmith and all. I think, let's see, John is what you wanted to say. Okay. Nita Bells, hello, Dave and Sned family. Good to see you. Um, Let me get this. GD Kramer, USA. Glad to see Davis having a show tonight. It says going live at 10. Sned Shed is open very early. Yes. When I set it up, I have to set it up like 3 hours ahead of time. But thank you, Phil. Good to see you. Good to see there's a show kind of lots for my time, late for my time, back later. Thumbs up. Awesome. Great faces, great places. South Dakota watching. Awesome. West Texas in the house. Gusto. Thank you. Rintin, I will not be here for the show tonight. I left work early. Prayer request, please forgive my youngest son, Tiberius. Prayer request, please. God bless, and the prayers up for Tiberius. Not forgive, but for my youngest son. Okay, I thought that was okay. For my youngest son, God, please watch over Tiberius and bless that boy. Angels en route to Tiberius. Hello, everyone. So great to see you all. Hunter Sabo, nice way to spend Saturday night. Velma, welcome. Hello, everyone. Hope you had a great Christmas. From Marie. Hi, Dave Moonbeam. Hope you had a great Christmas. I did. Thank you for asking. Yeah, I have to start putting the time on there on the Rumble. So sorry for forgetting to put that on tonight. Gail Mars, I hope you had a wonderful, great Christmas and looking forward to fabulous 2026. Thank you. And for Quasi Pete as well. Sarah Dwayne, hello to Dave and all my friends. I hope you had a wonderful Christmas. Thank you. Hope, Deb B in the house. Wendy, excuse me. Welcome all Sneds and friends. Moonbeams in and out on internet issues. So, KKY, hope everyone had a wonderful Christmas. Auntie Honey, good to see you. Sandy Moe, 363 shopping days till Christmas. That's funny. Um, Moonbeam had a great Christmas. Hope everyone else did too. It was 70 degrees here in Kansas City area today. Unbelievable. It was so warm in Austin that we turned the air conditioner on so that we could have a fire. I know, a little bit, a little crazy, but we love a fire, and it would have been too hot unless we turned the air conditioner on. So one day, but it was wonderful. Karina, hello everyone. We survived Christmas, kinda. Yeah, that's kind of how I feel. Karina, that's funny. Ravens Wings, good evening, Dave and Sneds. Hope everyone had a wonderful Christmas because it's about to get spicy. Yeah. See, that's why I had to come on tonight, by the way. We're going to get into this Ravens Wings, but I mean, oh my gosh, it's getting spicy is one way to put it. Good evening from Southeast Ohio. Slample. Thank you. Thank you. AC is on in Texas again. Yes. Cindy Mish. That's funny. That's like little smiles and eyes. Very cool. Paldo, greetings. Robert Hennessy, hey, good to see you. Jan, thanks for sharing out. Good to see you, Jan. Ravenswing, South Carolina is quite warm as well. Let's see. Dave is on. Going to be a good night. Sue, good to see you, my dear. How are you? Pete, sitting here sipping on some pear moonshine my nephew made. Pete, that sounds amazing, by the way. Pear moonshine. I had a couple drinks earlier with my buddy Lee. He made an amazing meal for us. This is my first day back after spending 3 days with my family, which was amazing. And got back to a homemade meal by my buddy, and we feasted and had a few drinks and chilled. And so I'm going to get back to him tonight here in a little bit if we're not both too exhausted. But yeah, good to spend time with family and friends and eat some home cooking. Unbelievable. Maggie Girl, thanks for reposting. Penny, for your thoughts. Good to see you. Maggie, good to see you. D, what's happening? Let's see. Joe Blanchard, hey, what's happening? Millie, thanks for reposting. Lacey, thank you for reposting, putting that out there. Hello, Dave. Been a while since I caught you live. Rebecca, I'm so glad you're here. Lacey saying, hey, Sneds, what's up? Margaret Burgess, hey, everyone. Pat saying, hello, Dave and Jasper and Sned. Such a nice surprise to be able to spend Saturday night with my favorite people. Very cool. So glad you're here. When you're hot, you're hot. J.L. Bear, 85 in southern Oklahoma. Unbelievable. Edward, season's greetings, friends and family. Hello, Sneds. Very cool. Hannah Kirkpatrick. Hey, everyone. Been a while, years from the UK, but in Florida for December, getting married out here on New Year's Eve. Oh, congratulations. That's awesome. Getting married on New Year's Eve, and welcome. Welcome over here. I'm glad you're here. UK's been kind of crazy. Patty, I hope everyone had a wonderful Christmas. Thank you, Patty. Good to see you. Yeah, hello from North Carolina. Journey on forever. Play the art of silence. Yes, I get slammed in some parts of the world for the art of silence, unfortunately. But we'll just do a little bit. And, Anthony, thanks for reposting. Mega Girl, nice surprise. Very cool. Hi, Mary. Yay, I was hoping. Very cool. I'm so glad you're here. Yes, very cool. Howdy, Dave. Pappy Two Bears. Good to see you. Christian, good to see you, my friend, over there in Austria. Okay, there we go. There we go. A gift to myself. I bought silver on the 24th. I've already gained $5 per ounce, wishing I had bought when it was at 26. Now waiting for dinar to explode. Exactly. Yeah, I'm with you. Sergeant Petrie, Merry Christmas, Dave. God bless you, brother. Thank you, my friend. And what do you think of Wheeler and running for office? And does Doc Chambers like him, Sarge? We're saying Merry Christmas again. Yeah, I love it, though. Davey Boo. Peggy, hi Dave, Jasper and Sned. Saturday night in the Sned Shed. Welcome aboard, everyone from Peggy in Visalia, California. Merry Christmas, Dave and Jasper and friends. Happy Christmas week, Dave. Thank you, my friend. Yeah, silver's going crazy right now. Yeah. Dave, I don't understand what's happening with the speaker. You talking about Johnson? An inner peace has settled in my being. That's fantastic. That's fantastic. Jingle, good to see you. Overbuild Automotive. Guy, it's been a while, Dave. Been watching you since you were in your living room. Well, thanks for being here, my friend. You've missed a lot, by the way. If you ever want to catch up to see what I've been doing for the past 3 years, I guess, it's Rumble, the Indoctrination is the channel. And it's been doing quite a bit over there because I've lost so many accounts. And so I'm Rumble on the Indoctrination on Rumble, no space, which is here. And if you look at the live, you'll see all the shows, 22 pages of just show after show after show after show. And so, and then also I've created something new, Snedheads, right here is a social media site that everybody has been digging, and you can go light mode or dark mode, and you've got a lot of cool stuff here, a lot of great posts. Heather Willard, for example, just posted this: Trump moved the moon rock out of the White House. He knows it's just a piece of trash. And why NASA lies to us. Trump sends moon rock back to NASA that had been displayed in the White House since 2021. That was a bit of a while ago, wasn't it? I think it was a while ago. But yeah, so Moonbeam, can you reach out to me about silver from Julie Larson? Yeah, we've got opportunity by fractional silver that you might want to look at. Caroline London, always some great stuff on dog. Shrimp. Is there a barbecue sauce for dogs? No way. There it is. All right. Hold down. Not bad. I don't cook that way for myself, for crying out loud. Thank you, Caroline. That's pretty awesome. But at any rate, if you want a different change of pace, some great stuff. The Black Nobility and the Deep State Illuminati, Control This Game, Life is a Video Game, How to Win, Diana, Preparedness Doctors, some great stuff, guys. So if you want a different vibe and you don't want to be censored and tracked and all of that nonsense, get on over to snedheads.com. my friends. The show is up there as well. Um, and sign up. It's free to join, but $17 if you want to support this great community. Um, okay, I'm going to cut the art of silence there. Get back to your chats. Um, let's see. Tried to order some purple pet from Jasmine, and the discount didn't work. Let me see. Um, Let me give you the post again just to make sure it did. And you can always reach out to Jasmine as well. But this is the Sned 17 at checkout for 12% off your order. And if that's not working, just send a message and let me know if that's the proper one that you did, and we'll get to the bottom of that. Um, so so back to the comments. Mike, a little edgy. Let me see. Great clean audio. We got great clean audio. Oh, sad. My son's wife left him and he spent Christmas with me. I'm so glad he had you to go to. Moto Yoder, good to see you. Very cool. Zero Christmas spirit. Pauline couldn't get into it. I get it. I do find that I have to escape and kind of the noise and kind of, take actions, watch something of what we watched, Charlie Brown Christmas, and just being with family. And but you have to unhook. Thank you, Sharon. Appreciate it. Yes, good stuff. Got heat stroke working in the yard today in Central Texas. Very grizzly. Take it easy there. Yeah, it's pretty hot here. Let's see. It'll take time to undo the ugliness she put him through for 17 years. I'm sorry to hear that. Julie, good evening, David. First time listening in. Happy New Year. Julie Donuts, thank you for listening in. I was just checking out one of your videos earlier, and I'm so glad that you decided to join us. Tonight is kind of a chill night. Kind of, vibing with the audience here a little bit because of the holiday, but I would love to have you on sometime. And you can feel free to reach out to me, and let me give you my my email that everyone here in the chat has. And I hope I caught you here. Let me see. Where is it? It's basically DaveSned at Gmail. It's pretty easy, DaveSned at Gmail, but I'm just looking for here it is. There we go. Guys, if you haven't, if you don't know Julie Donuts, she's on X and somebody I follow, and we follow each other, and she's fantastic, has some great stuff. And I'm sure, without question, I've shared your content on here before. Without question. So glad you've decided to join us, and please feel free to reach out. Sarge is in the house. Good stuff. Yeah, got to spend some quality time with my daughter. Thank you for asking. And my ex. We're very much still family and do family stuff together, and went to my sisters and brother-in-law and nephew and his girlfriend and sister, her sister, and boyhood friend. Just beautiful people. Beautiful Christmas. Thank you for asking. So very cool. You follow Julie on TikTok also? Yes. She is awesome. Love reposting her stuff. And yeah, very cool. I haven't been on long, Diane, so you didn't miss much. Yeah, and yeah, so I'm so glad. And Jasper had a great Christmas too. He got a new bed. Yeah, thank you. Let's see. No, I see both chats, Jiminy. Yeah, I see both chats. And Dina in the house, Julie Donuts, and Dina, thank you for your very generous donation. It blew me away. it just blew me away today. So thank you very, very much. God love you. And for all your ongoing support has been amazing. You're truly just a huge part of what we're doing. Yes, you're welcome. And I look forward to connecting with you. I hope we're able to connect. So folks, let me get into things here a little bit, because this was kind of a crazy, Christmas. Like what what is the Christmas message that our fearless leader, President Donald John Trump, what Christmas message will he leave for us this particular Christmas 2025? So I was looking forward to, a sweet message of support, of joy and but no, we got something much better, much better. Um, let me take you to his message for us, and I'm sure many of you have seen this, but we got to talk about it, right? Okay, now, as you know, I've been saying all along, um, that this is all about, you know, President Trump um, drawing out the people in the world that have never asked for the Epstein files, that have never wanted to get to the bottom of what really happened on that island and through this whole honeypot that Epstein ran for the Mossad. Um, and I've also said that the strategy of the release of the Epstein files was going to be very nuanced, because we're saving Israel for last, as Q has told us. So some other things have to happen before Israel is exposed as the Khazarian honeypots and blackmail operation and the whole bit, right? And so, and I even took you on the day in the cabinet meeting when he said, "We still talking about this guy Epstein?" And I showed you there were 11 Q drops on July 8th about Epstein and about blackmail. So this was, this was a freaking uh, fishing trip that President Trump was on. And man, did they bite. Hollywood, the media, music industry, uh, black pillars that think Trump is the devil, as well as everybody else. Those who are all about truth, but think that Trump is owned by Israel. All of these people are jumping on board. It's like, oh, yeah, he's trying to hide the Epstein files. Meanwhile, on the day he said that, 11 Q posts about Epstein. That wasn't an accident. And what did I tell you that night? I said, guys, watch what the Democrats do, watch what everybody does. And sure enough, they came out of the woodwork begging for the release of the Epstein files, demanding the release of the Epstein files. And now, as they're coming out, they're finding little bits and pieces that they think is a gotcha on President Trump. But you're going to find out that that's not the case. So let's go to what he said on this beautiful Christmas day. This President Trump's touching Christmas message to us all. Merry Christmas to all, including the many sleazebags who loved Jeffrey Epstein, gave him bundles of money, went to his island, attended his parties, and thought he was the greatest guy on earth, only to drop him like a dog when things got too hot. Falsely claimed they had nothing to do with him, didn't know him, said he was a disgusting person, and then blame, of course, President Donald J. Trump, who was actually the only one who did drop Epstein, and long before it became fashionable to do so. Long before. When their names get brought out into the ongoing radical left witch hunt, plus one low-life Republican, Massey, It is revealed that they are Democrats all. There will be a lot of explaining to do, much like there was when it was made public that the Russia hoax was a fictitious story, a total scam, and had nothing to do with Trump. The failing New York Times, among many others, was forced to apologize for their bad and faulty election reporting, even to the point of losing many subscribers due to their highly inaccurate fake coverage. Now, the same losers are at it again, only this time, so many of their friends, mostly innocent, will be badly hurt and reputationally tarnished. But sadly, that's the way it is in the world of corrupt Democrat politics. Enjoy what may be your last Merry Christmas, President Donald J. Trump. Wow. Now, I may be wrong, but this doesn't read to me like it's coming from somebody that is concerned about what is going to be revealed with the Epstein files. Does it to you? Certainly doesn't to me. He reposted this, okay, yesterday. Now, 1 million more pages on Epstein are found. DOJ is being forced to spend all of its time on this Democrat-inspired hoax. Now, remember, when he was calling this a hoax, it was a hoax that they thought they were going to get him. It wasn't that the Epstein files were a hoax. It was that the hoax was that he was involved in a way that they were going to finally be able to take him down. When they say no more and work on election fraud, etc., the Dems are the ones who worked with Epstein, not the Republicans. Release all of their names, embarrass them, and get back to helping our country. The radical left doesn't want people talking about Trump and Republican success, only a long ago dead Jeffrey Epstein, just another witch hunt. Boom. So interesting Christmas message. Now, all of his messages obviously are, very pointed, very intense, so that it gets us, actually talking about them, talking about these issues like we never have before. And so it's so I'm so glad to see, even though the message may be a little harsh or may not be that Christmas message that everybody would like to see, I'm very glad that he's posting these things in a way that's getting people to be like, whoa, we got to look at this. We got to look at this. And look what's happening with Minnesota and the Somalians, who he called garbage. And why did he call garbage? Because he knew what was going to be released. And oh my God, what's going on there? I'm going to get to in a minute. I want to see, and I haven't done this dive yet because I wanted to do this live with you, but I wanted to see President Trump's post. I'm going to do the timestamp, and I haven't looked at anybody else's decode, if anybody decoded this yet, just because I unhooked. And so, but I wanted to see if he's sending us a message that is, different than the one that we're reading, on the page. So let's go to Snedheads. Let's go to research the Q drops. Let's go to Q alerts. Actually, I want to go back there. I want to go to the capital letter counter first. I want to drop this in right here. It's 56. Now we'll go to the Q drops and we'll go to 56. I also want to drop in the mirror 65, and I also want to take us to the actual timestamp, which was 6:51, which is interesting because we got the mirror 65. Now we're at 6:51. So let's see where we go from here. Let me double check that. I did the East Coast time. Yes. Okay. All right. So search that, and let's go first to the capital letter counter of 56, November 2nd, 2017. The Hill, Huma Abedin's ties to the Muslim Brotherhood story. Okay. The Clinton campaign is attempting once again to. So here he's talking about, he's going from the many sleazebags who loved Jeffrey Epstein, gave him bundles of money, went to his island, attended his party. Don't forget, my friends, the Epstein Clinton connection is so deep that Epstein actually started the Global Clinton Initiative with the Clintons, okay, and the Clinton Foundation. All right. Went to his island at least 26 times that we know of, okay? So where does President Trump take us? Again, if we're looking at his post, okay, um, if he was a seventh grader, his teacher, and if I was his teacher, okay, red marks, sleazebags, that's not a proper noun, so you capitalized it. It shouldn't be capitalized. Hot is not capitalized. Um, what else? Radical left, not capitalized. Witch hunt, not capitalized, right? So these are intentional capitalizations to take us to the Q drop he wants to take us to. And it just so happens it's directly to the Clintons. Okay. Attempting to once again sweep important questions under the rug about top aide Huma Abedin, her family ties to the Muslim Brotherhood and to Saudi Arabia, and her role in the ballooning Clinton email scandal. Now, Saudi Arabia obviously was financing Barack Obama, was financing Hillary Clinton until the 2017 purge, which President Trump helped Mohammed bin Salman out with after saving his life in the Las Vegas shooting. By sending in Marines and National Guard over to complete the purge, which was the first side of the triangle, Saudi Arabia to fall. The next two are Soros and Rothschilds, happening as we speak. The Minnesota, you're going to find that ties back right to Soros, what's going on in Minnesota right now, right? Rothschilds, look what's happened in the silver, look what's happening to the central banks, look what's happening to the Fed. They're being dismantled as we speak. And her role in the ballooning Clinton email scandal. Her mother, Saleha Abedin, sits on the presidency staff council of the International Islamic Council for Dawah and Relief, a group that is chaired by the leader of the Muslim Brotherhood, Sheikh Yusuf al-Qaradawi. Now, look at what's happening to these Muslim groups here in the United States. Abbott and our AG, Paxton, are making it illegal for Sharia law. People are outlawing Sharia law. Europe is waking up to the mess. What we're finding out in Minnesota has to do with Islam. So Florida has announced CARE as a terrorist organization, as well as Muslim Brotherhood. President Trump has said Muslim Brotherhood is a terrorist organization. He's taken us to all of this right now. Perhaps recognizing how offensive such ties will be to voters concerned over future terrorist attacks on this country by radical Muslims professing allegiance to Sharia law, the Clinton campaign on Monday tried to downplay Ms. Abedin's involvement in the Journal and the Muslim Brotherhood. The Clinton surrogate group Media Matters, headed by David Brock, who was, and I believe still is, partners with a Pizzagate, James Elefantis, and funded by one of the sides of the triangle, George Soros, claimed predictably there was no evidence that Ms. Abedin and her family had ties with the Muslim Brotherhood, and that Trump campaign staffers who spoke of these ties were conspiracy theorists. Well, you have to look for evidence to find it. And if you don't look for it, you never find it. To debunk the evidence, Media Matters pointed to a Snopes.com fact-check piece. It cited as its sole source Senator John McCain. This is the same John McCain who met Libyan militia leader Abdel Karim Belhaj, a known al-Qaeda associate, and saluted him as my hero during a 2011 visit to Benghazi, which is going to come back in the news with the whole Clinton. It's a mess. And by the way, the Muslim Brotherhood, this is just Clinton, but we know that Valerie Jarrett is the Muslim Brotherhood infiltration into the Barack Obama camp. And that is the poem, the song that President Trump has repeated, The Snake, which is pointing directly to Barack Hussein Obama and Valerie Jarrett, whose father-in-law was partners with Oscar Brown Jr., who wrote that song in 1963 in Chicago. Think Mirror 65, flash traffic, 3-letter agency embedded tracking up channel into POTUS's Twitter to specifically target through specialized geo and send his location. We anticipated this. See a post a few hours ago. It has begun. Perhaps more posts to follow as expected. Imminent departure. Imminent departure was, a lot of people don't realize the white hats got Trump off Twitter. It wasn't Twitter. It was the white hats because they had sea-level access to real-time location tracking of the president, and they were trying to kill him. 651 was the timestamp. Q with many exclamation points. TikTok Q was the train incident, a false flag today. Do you believe in coincidences? Expect more. I don't know if he was taking us to that, more so the capital letter count, but also let me make sure that it is, let's check out the military time. That is 1851, and just see if he was bringing anything to surface here. Kid Love Productions, this was 1851, Bill Maher. Sometimes the truth is right in front of you. Surface of Guardians, director James Gunn at pedophilia themed party. This is really some creepy stuff. And James Gunn has the director of Guardians of the Galaxy, which Q has posted Guardians of the Pedophiles. And many people, basically stood up for this guy. Sorry, this is the pedo theme party. Yeah, it's just nasty. It's just nasty. And so, but this is, now what's the significance of this? Well, this was President Trump talking about Epstein Island, and it goes right to Bill Maher. These people are sick. You people are diseased. We, the people, are the cure. This is straight from Q, and also takes us to 144 in the blue ID, which I always go to, as you know, and it's always gold. Patriots don't sleep. 40,000 foot view necessary to understand U.S. Saudi Arabia global events, which we were just at, talking about Saudi Arabia. Paint the picture, decrease altitude. We will not fly that high again. Higher the altitude, greater the risk of conspiracy. Many cannot, will not swallow. What is no such agency? Q Group, obviously NSA, who has clearance to full picture. Importance, SIS is good. Admiral Rogers, what agency is at war with clowns in America? That's the NSA. How does POTUS shift narrative? New age of enlightenment, 80% covert, 20% public. Now, we've known this for quite some time, that 80% of the things that are being done, we do not see. We only see 20%. What has occurred over the last several months? See info leaks, operations, think Saudi Arabia, and then Q has told us US, then Asia, then EU. CNN sale, what companies receive large cash injections by clowns in America? Public. Why? Who does it hurt? Who controls the MSM? Primary objective from beginning, POTUS discredit MSM. This has been huge. And for anybody that says that President Trump is a pawn of the Khazarian Israel control mechanism, doesn't understand that there are two main tools to control humanity. One is the media, and two is the central banks. What has Donald John Trump done to discredit these both. Significant. Totally disassembled the mainstream media and has disassembled the central banking structure, which we're seeing taking action as we speak. Why is this relevant? How is information transmitted? How are people informed? Why was Sarah A. Carter attacked? Hack attempt? Why was Operation Mockingbird repeated? Why was Jason Bourne's CIA dream repeated? Thanks social media platforms, because they had to jump from mainstream media to social media. Who are the wizards and warlocks? What council do the wizards and warlocks control? These are the white hats. Think Snowden, inside terms drop. Now, Snowden is coming back in the news, talking about a possible pardon from President Trump. Alice in Wonderland, that relates to Hillary and Saudi Arabia, which we were just at, understood. Snow White, understood. Iron Eagle, Godfather 3, Speed, everything has meaning. Disney is a distraction. What were we just sent to with the with this one over here? Okay. With the James Gunn and the director in Hollywood. Senate and Congress equals puppets, not all power shift for God and country, for humanity, Geronimo. Significant. I mean, this is all that he takes us to in just this post. And, you know, he's talking about Epstein, and it brings up what? Pedophilia. It brings up the Clintons. It brings up Muslim Brotherhood. It brings up the Hollywood, okay, and how they're gonna be exposed. The Democrats. So it's very, very interesting. Okay. Let me see if he's taken us anywhere with this next one. Let me go to the capital letter counter from Snedheads. Let me drop this in, and let me see. He takes us to 52 on this one. So we'll go 52, and we'll go 25 as well. And here's the thing, folks. Like, not every post he does is like directly into something so dasting that we can't get over ourselves. But a lot of them are. So much so that it makes sense to definitely track and follow and see where he might be taking us. This was at 5:58 p.m., which is also 1758 military timestamp. And let's see what he has to say. And again, this was the one. This is the one about the 1,000 more pages on Epstein are found. Now, again, this is not a guy talking like he's concerned about what's in these files at all. And he's never been. He's pretended to not want them to come to surface because he had to get the Democrats and everybody to bite. And boy, did he ever. Okay, let's start with 52, the capital letter count. 52, review Barack Obama's financial disclosure. Barack Obama, might he have something to do with Epstein? Might he have something to do with pre-Democrat election campaign? What's the annual salary of a sitting U.S. president? What homes were just purchased? How much did it cost? How does it reconcile? Now, this goes right to Saudi Arabia. How about the 400 guest pedo party that he had at the White House that Q has everything on that is going to be exposed? And they're trying to pin stuff on Trump. Guys, this is going to be so huge. I mean, it's going to, Trump is like jaywalking, and these people are committing, crimes against children like you wouldn't believe. And that's what's coming out. What's the net worth of Pelosi, John M., Clinton Foundation, which we were just at. McCain was mentioned earlier, supposed surgery. He was the final vote to create Obamacare, which is the thing that is now being exposed for all of the corruption, all of the money laundering. It's going to be unbelievable. Notice any patterns relating to Clinton Foundation? Yeah, it's all pay for play. Let's see how many days till he was back in Congress and sitting. So basically, Q is saying he didn't really have surgery, and he was put down. But coming back and creating Obamacare, because that was during the pause, we needed to see what was going on. Maxine Waters, you can play this game with most Dems and many Republicans. What does swamp refer to? What does money buy? Alice in Wonderland. Money buys influence, which is why Saudi Arabia is so huge, and Hillary and Saudi Arabia. Dems and Republicans, he mentions them in that post as well. Let's go to Think Mirror on the 52-25, November 1st, 2017. And let's go to follow up the last post, return to comments regarding Pelosi and John McCain. Some of us refuse to say his name for a reason. Do you think these are linked? Right? They're 27 drops apart, and yet Q said think mirror, and look how they're connected. This all has meaning, everything stated, big picture stuff. Few positions allow for this direct knowledge. Proof to begin 11-3, which I have claimed that I think is the Charlie Kirk event. We all sincerely appreciate the work you do. Keep up the good fight. The flow of information is vital. God bless. And of course, we got to go to 24 because of the follow-up to the last post, and to see what 24. Any person making statements they will not be seeking re-election was put in submission for the betterment of the country. Not all will be prosecuted, and all will do as told. You will see more of this occur. Not normal, yet disregarded, and even on the Democrat side. I've been saying for a long time, I think we're, many have, watching a white hat script, because you couldn't script it any better to expose these people. Timing is everything. State of the Union takes us to 5:58, which was the timestamp of that post. And then let me take you to the military timestamp. And this was the assassination attempt on President Trump off the coast of the West Coast. And we were just reading about the assassination attempt, of why they had to take him off Twitter, because they were able to geolocate him at a very high level, right? Then Brennan is exposed, right? I'm not even going to read his ridiculous shit. Also from June 10th, this is not a game. So basically, your wrong-headed protectionist policies and antics are damaging our global standing as well as our national interests. Your worldview does not represent American ideals. To allies and friends, be patient. Mr. Trump is a temporary aberration. The America you once knew will return. John Brennan, the head of the CIA, Mr. Trump is a temporary aberration. In 2018, he said this on the same day they tried to assassinate him. Okay. And do you believe in coincidences? Also, the Avenatti this week promises to be very interesting. Might want to follow my Insta handle, Javanati, and look at this. That was June 10th. These were all comms about assassinating President Trump while he was in Air Force One, folks. This is treason. This is like next level stuff here. Okay. And President Trump just took us to this drop with the military timestamp, and it links to the earlier one. This is not a game. And these people are just about to find out why he is posting the way he is. I want to take us to 39 because of the ID zeros and see what 39 brings us, which is almost always gold and connected. Would it blow your mind if I told you Barack Obama has been to North Korea and perhaps there now? Why? Because the Uranium One deal sent the uranium to Iran and North Korea via the CIA, which John Brennan was involved in. He was leading it. And Robert Mueller took the sample to the Kremlin. Why did his administration do little to slow their nuclear and missile capabilities? Because the sum of all fears, they were going to create a nuclear explosion and blame it on the U.S. versus Russia and start World War III. This was the plan all along. Who feeds North Korea with strategic intel? Iran, yes. Also the CIA, because the CIA runs North Korea, or did until Trump freed him. What deal was done with Iran under Barack Obama? All the money, the pallets of cash, the uranium. Why was the deal sealed under top secret classification? Because it was treason. Why wasn't Congress notified? Because it was treason. Why, after Barack Obama left office, all of a sudden North Korea has nukes and the tech to miniaturize for payload delivery within the U.S.? What about NSA, CIA, DI, et cetera, all confirming tech won't be in place for 5+ years, statements made in 2016? Why is all of this relevant, and what does it tell you? Big picture is rare. Whew, my friends, this is all very, very dasting that President Trump took us to. See, he's not communicating. He's communicating on multiple levels here, multiple levels. And yeah, it's very, it's huge. It's huge. Okay. Wow. So, how you all feeling about that? How are you all feeling about his post? Yeah. Let's see. Yeah, we've been calling for Tina Peters to be out. We got to get her out. And President Trump is making it, I think, going to make it happen. Yeah, so much is going to happen before the midterms, guys. Don't even worry about the midterms. I'm telling you. Anybody that says, oh, we're going to lose the midterms, they don't have a crystal ball and they don't know what's going to come down before then. It's going to be huge, huge. Yeah. Oh, Sarge, I'll try that. Add them both. Get 108. That's the capital letters of both. That's a good idea. Let's check out 108 and also drop the 0. Let me check this out. 108. Checked and postponing, postphone posting, excuse the post count, the first extraction order reference, 0200 Zulu time. Zulu, when I post my response, was saying 1.5 hours would be plenty enough time for anyone to hide if they needed to hide. So if it was real info, then whoever posted just broke OPSEC in a pretty bad way. Nothing is as it seems, and on what occurred, it flushed Barack Obama out. Why is that relevant? Analyze timestamps of my message to Barack Obama's tweet. That, Sarge, directly references the assassination attempt. Unbelievable. Also, so thank you for that. Good call. And then 18, November 1st. Why did Mueller meet POTUS one day prior to FBI announcement if Mueller could not be offered director due to previous term limits rule? Why is Pelosi begging for a new special counsel? What is Pelosi's net worth? How was this obtained given salary as a career official? Again, we go back to this. Why? Is because what's being exposed right now in DC is all of this corruption, all of this money laundering is being exposed right now. We just found out that the Minnesota Somali community hired John Podesta and Tony Podesta. Oh, it's getting good, folks. Why is Pelosi's memory going? This goes right to what they were saying about John McCain and about his surgery. Could it protect against prosecution? How so? What if John McCain's surgery was fake? He just took us to that. Why would this occur? What could this prevent potentially? What is the Mayo Clinic who sits on the board of directors there? We've gone down that dive, and I believe it was an Obama official, and I can't remember exactly. But great call, Sarge, doubling those up, brother. Thank you for that. Really cool stuff. And what we did there was added the capital letters of both because he reposted that. So it was a perfect call, brother. Thank you. And just right in the heart of what we're talking about too. See, this is, I mean, they tried to kill him more times than one, more times than 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. And this is getting real. And I said when he posted one of his really nasty posts about somebody, and I basically reposted, and I said, when people realize what crimes these people have committed, they are going to say to themselves, Donald Trump wasn't harsh enough in his treatment of them before the rest of us found out. And I truly believe that's the case. Mother of all bombs incoming, without question, brother, without question. Let's see. Yeah, I knew that whole John McCain thing was fake. It was kind of like he was checking out. He was checking out. 3353, Sarge. Why am I going to 3353? 30. I'll go there, but please let me know why we're there. 3353. Here we go. July 8th, 2019. What happens? What happens when those who held positions of power and influence no longer pull the strings? What happens when blackmail no longer works? How do you become a liability? H is greater than C, D, and I. Yes, Q. I think H is greater than codes D class, and I forget what I is. Can you help me out with that one? But that's a good one. That's a good one. So it's the timestamp for the quote post. Okay, thank you. The quote post being, let's see. Let me see. Let me go to your thing and see if I can find your sitch here. Let's see if you have it up. But good stuff, guys. Oh, dude, you rock. You just reposted me. Most informed and humble podcaster on X, hands down. Thank you, my friend. I really appreciate that. That's very cool. And I do want to have you on. I do want to connect with you. So if we could connect offline, I do appreciate you. Yeah. So very cool. Thank you, my friend. So guys, this is Pamela says, why was a McCain funeral allowed to be so ostentatious? That's a great question. And I think there were a couple things. The casket was the flag was wrinkled like crazy. Like if I had a shirt that wrinkled, I wouldn't wear it out in public. Okay. And it was to show that if you leave early and you confess and you give up everybody, We'll let you have that moment of where, people are still saluting you. We'll let you have that moment. I think that's what that was about. But it also showed what submission looks like. Um, yeah. So, yeah, this is, folks, this is huge. Like what we're seeing here, I'm telling you, is next level. Um, for the level of exposure that is about to come. Okay. And I'll tell you this, that if you haven't seen what's happening on X right now with Nick Shirley, I'm going to take you to first a few highlights. And this is all about what's going on in Minnesota. And I want to jump to this because, I've talked to you about the Kirk incident, right? 11-3, 311, Charlie Kirk, CK, the 47, 47, 47 hats. I think he's still alive. I think he's in WITSEC. I think it was a squib, because it's not an entry wound and it's not an exit wound, certainly not with a 30-06 rifle, because that would explode his whole neck. And the whole thing was set up. And it was the reason why they've gone down this ridiculous narrative of Tyler Robinson. And Tyler Robinson gave us the goat picture, the Goat Island picture on his laptop, on his desk. And then same outfit, same shirt, same pants, same hat, Dairy Queen, and the picture of Superman in the back. And what's Andrew Tolbert talking about? Oh, yeah, the coroner talked to me and told me, who I'm not a family member, which is a complete violation of HIPAA rules, told me that the bullet was stopped by his spine, and that he was like Superman, and he saved the people behind him that worked for Turning Point. That's the let's roll 9/11 fake, narrative to drum up heroes and create heroes that we can prop up on a platform, on a silver statuesque platform of reverence. So that story is fucking absurd, but it brought up the trans agenda, the violent trans agenda being fueled and funded by Soros, by Antifa, by BLM, by these left, Act Blue, all these organizations that are funding and fueling this. We have to go down that road. That's why they've gone down this Tyler Robinson, because they're now getting to all the funding of all these groups, and they're going to expose that. And the reason why they gave us so many holes is because they didn't really want people that know what the fuck they're talking about to think that, they really believe that, because they didn't. That's the Valhalla message from Cash. That's the, yeah, I forgive that man, this whole acting scene by what's her name, is just, I mean, I haven't bought 1 ounce of it yet. And so, but we had to look down that way because we had to expose all of this inner insurrection of our country. The reason why there are so many holes is because they wanted us to look at Israel. They wanted us to look at Turning Point. They wanted us to look at the history of what's going on here, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. My friends, it is no accident. It is not a mystery as to what's going on here. It is flat out just, gold. Now, I got to take you to our good friend Kevin Rotello, his on, here we go. I don't know why my screen is doing that.
South Park episode. I will be wearing my sequin suit and have my WWE fireworks. Let's all grift together. Shabbat shalom.
There you go.
I will be on the next South Park episode. I will be wearing my sequin suit and have my WWE fireworks. Let's all grift together. Shabbat shalom.
That's Kevin. Yeah, I don't buy it. And great stuff, Kev. But I don't buy a second of it. Listen, I was a director, I was an actor, I was a producer and small budget independent features. I did not 9 features, like a couple short films. I've worked with actors, I've worked with actresses. I've had to try to pull emotion out of them. I've had to, all right, we didn't really get it. Take 2. We're going to do it this way. Maybe give me something different. Pull back 25%. Working with actors. Take 2. When you're ready, action. We take 2. All right. So how did you feel that? I didn't really feel. Yeah. So let's go to take 3. Maybe she doesn't get that many takes, but I tell you what. I would cancel every single, I would say cut on every single thing that she's done since Charlie supposedly was assassinated. And I would say, yeah, we got to redo that take. We got to redo that take because no one's going to believe that. And wouldn't you know it, that's exactly what's going on, in my opinion. So, yeah. So let's see. Patrick Byrne. Listen, he's CIA. I know he's, coming out with some stuff, but with a grain of salt, my friends, with a grain of salt. And yeah, Q said Alex was Mossad. So, yeah. Dave, can you check my coat and pour me a neat with lemon? Spaz, you got it, my friend. Consider it checked and consider neat with lemon. I'm gonna have to try that. I don't think I've ever done a neat with lemon. You're talking about a bourbon? All right, here we go. Here we go. Okay, so thank you. So Sarge just sent me this. Okay, so Sarge asked, this is what I asked him for. Why were we at this one? Okay, so Trump posted, this is yesterday. Trump posted that quoted post at 1758. What do we know about the deep state? What have they lost? What are they fighting to keep? What have we exposed about the dark side of our U.S. politicians? Panic in D.C. Q drop 3353. What happens when those who held positions of power and influence? I just read this one. Blackmail equals control. Now I mirrored 3353 to 3533. What do you know? What are we seeing a lot of comms about? 3553, reminder regarding impeachment. 2/3 Senate vote required to impeach POTUS. 5347, logical thinking. You're watching Dems con liberal base using hope tactics while maintaining POTUS, obstruction of justice, fake news narrative. Think 2020. Nice. Let me go to this one. There we go. And, of course, Rosie O'Donnell was just calling out for President Trump in the 25th Amendment because of what's going on. So the impeachment's going to come back around. And they're conning us all without question. They're conning us all. Yeah. So, at any rate, let me take you to, I want to take you to this story in Minnesota that's breaking. And by the way, just so you know, Elon is reposting everything about the Islamification of Europe, the Islamification of the United States, what's going on in Minnesota. He's actually called for walls to be investigated. So here we go. Let me take you to this is Nick Shirley. Nick Shirley has been to the White House, has been one of the influencers that was acknowledged, and he is doing some great work here in Minnesota. And this gentleman has done a lot of the work that Nick is reporting on.
Hello, we'd like to ask where the money's going. What do you guys think about the fraud that's taking place here in Minnesota?
I don't think anybody is enabling fraud to happen.
Hold Governor Walz accountable for this.
What was this money spent on? 1.26 million. What was that money spent on? There aren't any kids.
Answer the question. Are there children? There's no children inside this building. Potentially the largest fraud scandal in U.S. history is taking place in Minnesota, as literally billions of dollars have been funneled through Somali-ran fraudulent businesses. So much fraud, it could actually almost replace the entire GDP of Somalia. These fraudsters have worked hand in hand with the Minnesota government as they enabled billions of dollars to be given to fraudulent businesses underneath welfare purposes. Some of this money eventually landed in the hands of terrorist groups in Somalia, like the Al-Shabaab, and others enriched themselves all at the U.S. taxpayers' expense. And in this video, we will break down all of the fraud from start to finish, from going to the fraudulent businesses and confronting the people who are making millions of dollars from the government. And we will also be confronting the incompetent government leaders who let this fraud happen. And to make this happen, I met up with a man who's been doing his own investigation for years now, as he has seen the fraud firsthand. His name is David. Let's get into this and be prepared to be shocked. How deep is this fraud here inside of Minnesota?
It is far worse than anybody can imagine. You heard it's 7 to 10 billion and maybe more, and now the numbers have been revised and put out there publicly that they think it's more like 8 billion. How I got involved is that where my office is here in Minneapolis, I'm sort of in the heart of all of this fraud, and I would see these childcare centers. I said, well, there aren't any kids there. It's the middle of the day, and all I see are a couple of guys standing out front smoking. And then I'd go by another daycare and I'd see the same thing. I said, well, where do these kids play? And so I started to go online and look, and I said, this place is licensed for 80 children. They had 0 children. Every time I went by there, they never had a single child there. Then I started to see all these transportation companies going around, and it was always a Somali driver. And I said, well, that's great. They're out there transportation contributing, but they never had a passenger, never, ever once. And I said, well, what is all this transportation? What are they doing? So then I found out that in Minnesota, they have something called non-emergency medical transportation. So this is going to the dentist's office, therapy, whatever it might be. And I said, well, how many of these companies are there? And the research came back that there are 1,020 of them, and more than 800 of them are Somali owned. Nobody from the state of Minnesota ever cross-checks to see if any rides were ever actually provided. All they did was write the check.
So right here, we have all this paperwork. And how are you getting all this information about the fraud?
A lot of it is through my own research. And then I have some contacts at the Capitol going back many, many years. And so the data that I'm getting is 100% accurate, coming directly from research done by people at the state Capitol.
All this paperwork right here, what are we looking at?
The areas of fraud that I have numbers for are mostly related to childcare. This is massive fraud that is beyond anyone's imagination, the scope. And so, for example, there's a childcare not far from here in Minneapolis that has two childcares listed at the same address. And together, they're licensed supposedly for 120 children. I have never seen a single child there ever. And I've been by that place at least 100 times.
These Somalians, these groups are setting up these daycares, these childcare centers, getting money from the government, but there's no kids.
No kids. Never had any of them. They're all fraught with violations. And even though they have these violations, they're still in operation and they're still getting money. And it's millions of dollars for every one of them every year.
And who's getting the money? And where are they getting the money from?
So we have a thing called CCAP. It's a blend of federal and state money. The bottom line is it's taxpayer money. So it's state money and it's federal money. And the problem is the people at the state of Minnesota are the ones writing the checks. This is kind of the maddening thing is you have daycare. So you have adult daycare, and then you have child care, and then you have health care. And a lot of these same names keep coming up on all of these different types of businesses. And then, of course, we have the transportation. And a lot of those same names appear, a lot of the same addresses. There's one building that has 14 Somali healthcare companies at the same address. There's another building in St. Paul that has 22 Somali healthcare businesses at the same address.
And the government knows about this.
The government knows, they're writing the checks. Yeah, the Democrats over there just writing the checks. What has happened is that the Somali community is a very closed community. They will not speak to anyone outside the community and talk about what's going on within the community. They vote as a block. And so when you're a politician, you're saying, look, I've got 100,000 people in Minnesota that if I do something for the community, they're going to vote for me. And that's what it's all about, is getting the votes. And then the people here in Minnesota, you hear this term, Minnesota nice. I'm so sick of that term. The people here are so afraid of being called a racist or an Islamophobe. And they're afraid of their own shadow. And I don't understand. This is our future generations are going to have to pay for all this fraud. And they just want to bury their heads in the sand and go on and just not worry about it. Tim Walz saying there's organized crime in Minnesota. What did he do about it? Nothing. You got organized crime? What are you doing? This is the Minnesota law, which mandates that anyone who knows of fraud and is a state employee must report that fraud. It's Minnesota Statute 3.971, Subdivision 9. Not only that, but Walz is also guilty of misconduct of a public employee. When I look at the world as a whole and I look at fraud, the Twin Cities is ground zero. The fraud is worse here than anywhere else ever in history, anywhere.
We're going to go confront these people. We're going to go to these daycare centers. We're going to see what's actually happening.
Okay, so we have to be careful because these people are very violent. They're exceptionally violent.
Now, with all of David's evidence, we headed out to the streets of Minneapolis to see how much fraud we could uncover in one afternoon. Where are we going now?
We're going to a place called Mako Childcare, which actually has another childcare registered at the same address called Mini Child Care Center.
So we should see lots of children if there's this child care center, especially if there's two.
The two of them combined are licensed for 120.
And how much money have these child care centers received?
None of those vans have moved in 6 months. None of them. In 2020, one of them received $1.3 million. In 2021, they got $987,000. In 2022, they got $714,000. That's the last I have for that one. And then the other one, $1.604 million in fiscal year 2025. Fiscal year 2024, they got about $800,000, and in fiscal year 2023, they got $904,059. This place right here. Yes.
We're outside of it.
Well, this is actually two daycares are registered here. One of them is Mako, which you see on this sign. The other one is Mini Child Care Center. And between the two of these child care centers, they're pulling in about $3 million a year. And there are no children. Every facility as you go to, the windows will be blocked out so you can't see in. There's nobody here. You won't see a single child at any of these facilities.
There are indeed no windows. All the windows are blacked out right here. All right, let's go in.
No.
And the child care center is locked. Should we ring the doorbell?
Yeah.
Try to get in, ring the doorbell. Nobody showed up. They're open 7 days a week, 7 a.m. to 10 p.m. it says here on their sign, yet there's absolutely nobody here. And this building here, right here, has generated millions of dollars, and it seems like business isn't even open right now, and it's a weekday. And if this was a daycare center, it wouldn't just be in some industrialized building. There would be maybe like a playground or something outside. Or
there's no play area for the kids. So where are the kids? Where's anybody? How can there be nobody here? And it's like this every single day. I've never seen a single child here. In 9 years, I've never seen a single child at this building. Right there.
Oh, then now it looks like we already got the Somalis coming through.
Yeah, they're coming. The word's out.
Hello, is this your daycare?
No. Can you tell us why there are no children? Have you ever seen children at this child care center?
Doesn't know if she's ever seen a child here. All right, let's go to the next location. Now we're going to the next daycare center. How much money has this one generated?
This one In fiscal year 2025, $1,042,059. In fiscal year 2024, $1,059,078. And in fiscal year 2023, $727,336.
This next one is literally 1 block away, and this one's also generated nearly $3 million in the past 3 years. Let's see if there's any children. Let's see if any of the buildings are open. Here we go. All right, we've arrived to ABC Learning Center. All the windows are blacked out. Let's see if anybody is here. This door is locked.
This facility is licensed for 40 children. 0 children. I've come by this place 100 times. I've never seen a child here, ever. The only thing I've ever seen is someone standing outside smoking.
What's crazy about this is that last daycare center is that green building right there. And the other daycare center right now is right here. These buildings should be operating as they're receiving literally millions of dollars. I knocked on the door, and to my surprise, somebody actually answered the door. Hello? Can we speak? I would like to check a child in the daycare. Can I speak to a manager? Where can I get paperwork to file for my son? I wanted to put my son Joey in daycare. And after a few questions, the lady went silent. Looks like little Joey Shirley ain't going to daycare here. And now where are we going?
Now we're going to Sweet Angel Childcare.
We're in the middle of a strip mall here inside of this neighborhood.
In fiscal year 2025, this facility, which says it's licensed for 74 kids, was paid $1.26 million in tax money. And there are no kids, and all the facilities are the same way, all of them.
Let's see if anyone opens.
Yeah, let's see.
Once again, I try to find a spot for my son Joey, and they would not open the door. I want to put my son Joey in daycare. Cuz I need a spot to put my son Joey.
Yes.
Is this your daycare center?
No, I work there. What's happened?
I just want to put a child in daycare, but all the daycare centers seem to be closed. No one's opening the doors.
You work here?
I was, yeah. What's happened?
Where are the kids?
Yeah.
It says it's licensed for 74 children. Right here, state of Minnesota. Where are the kids? They got paid $1.26 million in fiscal year 2025. It says they have a capacity for 74 children.
When?
Where are the kids? Right here. State of Minnesota website. You work here and you don't know?
I don't know. I was there before. I don't know what's going on.
Were there any kids when you worked here?
He's there. Kids there. What's
How
happened?
many?
I don't know.
You don't know?
Yeah.
You worked here. Okay, well, then you're not of any help.
Can I put my son in a daycare here?
No, I don't know.
Can I speak to someone?
No, I don't know.
No? Yeah, I would like to see if I can put my son Joey here.
Who's your son, Joey?
My son Joey. Can I check out daycare center?
No! You're a liar. I'm the owner.
Do you put your kid here in this daycare?
No.
There is one child in there. Yeah, I'd like to know if this is a legit business.
Me, I'm scared of you too. How come I explain everything?
You're scared of me?
Yeah.
Why?
Because of your curry.
Because of my color. You said you're scared of me because of my color. Does that make you a racist?
Yeah, no.
But
No.
You said you're scared of me because of my color.
I'm not saying you're racist.
You said you're scared of me because of my color. That makes you a racist. So right now,
This is my
they're all
tax
getting mad
money.
because he's showing the
I
paperwork
don't
of this
know that.
business being registered as a business. 74 children,
I've
no
lived my
children.
whole life
We
here.
saw one child when the lady opened up the door.
Wow.
So
But now
where did
they're
this
all
money
getting mad.
go? What was this money spent on? 1.26 million. What was that money spent
ask
on?
the owner.
There aren't any kids.
Ask the owner and the kids.
Well, then why are you talking
That's
for the
not my
owner
proof.
if you're
That's
telling me
not
to
my
talk
proof.
to the owner?
I'm sorry. I'm not understand what you're talking about.
Do you have a child here?
No.
Does anybody?
No.
Where are the 74 kids? Did you lose them? Did you lose these kids? Do I need to call someone? Do I need to issue an Amber Alert for missing children? Are these children missing? It's not my business that children are missing. 74 infants and toddlers, preschool.
The proof's right there. There's no children anywhere.
It's from the state of Minnesota right here.
So that's 4 minutes into this. I'm sorry, 14 minutes. Let me just show some of the. Let me just show you the end of this real quick, and then I'm gonna repost this, and you can see it on Snedhead.
Saturday by 3 Somali men simply for asking questions about what was going on. And they're very, very violent people. They do not like this fraud to be exposed.
After giving this man plenty of opportunities to answer the simple question, where are the children? He called the cops on us and we headed to the state capitol where they're having a meeting about the fraud to confront the state representatives and people in the government who have enabled and let this fraud happen. Inside of this committee, a Republican representative showed charts showing exactly how this fraud has been committed and who is profiting and connecting all the dots. And while the Democrat representatives looked into the abyss, one of them spoke about how none of this is building trust and how this is a nonpartisan issue. So I went and confronted her after that.
Yes, but
He has some very valid questions to ask about what's going on here in Minnesota. And do you think this fraud
I don't know who
crosses?
you are.
My name is Nick Shirley.
Okay.
Do you think this fraud is Republican or Democrat, or just facts that fraud is happening?
I think the fact that
Because
you're talking about it as a partisan issue.
Well, because that's what I heard you
shows
talking
me-
about. That
I know what I said is that
because
what we're talking
we want
about
to
is,
build trust, but fraud is fraud. So why should we be enabling fraud to happen here?
no, I don't think anybody is enabling fraud to
When are you
happen.
going to hold Governor Walz accountable for this?
Okay, sir.
No. This
Sir,
is not.
sir.
When are you going to hold Governor Walz? No. She is a representative for the state of Minnesota. Yes or no?
Excuse me.
Yes. Are you?
If you're gonna talk to me like
Are you going to
that,
say to her, "I'm a disability advocate"?
I heard you, and
get
you got a chance
overstimulated.
to testify.
No.
Ma'am, the facts are the facts that fraud is happening here, and it's not a nonpartisan issue. How come you think fraud has been able to happen so much underneath?
I think
the
if you've
government
been
here?
listening to our hearings, we've had now 10 hearings on this. And so there's really good data from the people who both work within the administration as well as who both Democrat and Republicans. I think
Yes.
what you heard today is that the Republicans who control this committee are not actually interested in solving fraud. What they're interested in is telling a story.
This fraud has happened underneath Democrat leader Tim Walz.
There has been Medicaid fraud across the country under Democrats and Republicans. There's fraud within the Trump administration. We have is fraud. Public-private providers have made government a mark. And so every person running government, Democrats or Republicans, are dealing with the issue of how to keep fraudsters out of our public payment. We're also dealing with veterans. We're dealing with consumers. I hope you're looking at that. If you look at United Health, currently is being charged with defrauding Medicare. You know who runs Medicare? President Trump. Medicaid fraud is a 50-state issue. And so, again, it is not a partisan issue. There are Democrats and Republicans who are sitting in that committee talking about it. But what you did here was the Republican chair say she's not turning information over to the one person in government who can stop payment. And I hope you print that.
Thank you for coming today.
Okay.
Crazy.
Well,
If this
You saw what
is
happened
the
there?
state of Minnesota that we live in, and these politicians are just walking off thinking it's okay Tuesday, and they want to go visit the Trump, they want to blame the Trump administration. We have Democrats blaming ICE. I'm tired. My people are suffering. I'm scared for my little brother. My people are suffering, and these people just walk off. We have a governor who fucking doesn't care. How many more people are gonna freaking die? How many more people are gonna go homeless?
So this is, I'm going to repost this on my timeline, which will also be on Snedheads as well here shortly. And I also want to take you to something that Heather Willard shared on Snedheads, and it was this Nick Sorter's story. Post infuriating. Despite the massive Somali fraud scandal, Tim Walz announces a new welfare program for Somalis and other illegal aliens. The taxpayer-funded family medical leave program gives Somalis up to 20 paid weeks off per year to bond with a child. Cut off federal funds. U.S. taxpayers should not be on the hook for this BS. You might need to turn up your volume, because I'm having a problem with this. Hold on, let me see if I can maybe get a better audio here on this. Hold on a second. Let me remove this. Let me remove this altogether. And go back to it. Next order. Here we go.
Insurance program for you that allows you again to take care of what you need to take care of without being forced to choose between your family, your bonding with your child, your own health, and your economic well-being. Because in Minnesota, you can do both, and we've proved that time and time again.
Now, I just want to reiterate to you that what I shared back, this was back when President Trump was running against Kamala. And the day that that she chose Tim Walz as her running mate, President Trump posted Kamala, okay, on Truth, okay. And so I just want to take you to what I did. I then looked for B, like why would he be putting in this B, right? So I went to, I believe it was kill brackets. I went to B. Let me post this. And yeah, it was kill brackets, right? And so I went on that day, I went to the kill brackets in B, and it took us to May 27th, 2020. And it was about the New York Health website deletes Cuomo's order regarding nursing homes, which basically said that if COVID positive patients in the hospital must not be held in the hospital, must be released back into the nursing homes, even if they were COVID positive. This was all about jacking up the numbers of those who died from COVID, which was the elderly who, die from, if they get pneumonia, if they get a cold, if they get the flu, and they're their systems are so in such bad shape because of their age, because of all the stuff that they're on. Well, we've also found that document that had been released, but it was on the archive, the web archive. And so we go there and we see that this is the Department of Health from Andrew Cuomo, hospital discharges and admissions to nursing homes. And no resident shall be denied readmission or admission to the nursing home solely based on or confined or suspected diagnosis of COVID-19. So we know that this was created. We know that the media was blowing up the numbers, and we know that the flu deaths disappeared. If elderly, most at risk, known knowingly, why order COVID-19 positive patients back into nursing homes? Hospital capacity, USNS Comfort capacity. Cuomo never used the ship that Trump sent up there. The reason why Trump sent that up there was to give them more hospital capacity. They never even used the Jacob Javits Center that had, 1,000 beds or more in it. Ignorant, A, or deliberate, B, accountability options outside other than ballot box. It was also to rig the election. That's all coming out as well. So I was like, well, why Kamala? Well, I checked on Tim Walz in the nursing homes. And wouldn't you know that Tim Walz did the same thing that Cuomo did? And at one point in Minnesota, the nursing homes accounted for 82% of all COVID deaths. The nursing homes. They needed those deaths to create the hysteria. They needed all that. And that was a nod from President Trump to us on that. So this is all being exposed. This is all happening as we speak, my friends. I mean, it is so beautiful to see that this is all coming to light, and it's all being exposed, and it's never again going to happen, because we're awake now. The UN. This is from Eric Doherty, okay, on X. Many Americans are calling on the U.S. to leave the United Nations after Somalia will be made president of the UN Security Council on January 1st. Unfreaking believable. A country that can't even maintain its own security will be president of a worldwide security council. Thankfully, it only lasts 1 month. This is unbelievable. And, I've been saying for at least, 17 years, that the UN should be moved one block east. And just below that on my bookmarks, by the way, I Fletch17 said, in case you missed it, the post is still there. And it's Trump shares post saying Biden was executed, replaced with clones. The True Social Post claims Biden was replaced with soulless, mindless entities. Now, what's funny about this is that you and I both know that that was not Joe Biden. So what was going on during that pause, right? By the way, Donald Trump Jr. has shared Nick Shirley's posts. Also, starting January 1st, all beef, poultry, and pork products, animals raised, butchered, and processed in the United States will have a USA label. This is great, allowing us to support our farmers. That's fantastic. USA, billions of dollars in fraud. Thank you, Nick Shirley, for coming to California Frontlines and walking through the trenches with me. This is Darren Stallcup, World Peace Movement. I'm going to follow him now. We are marking the 20th year since Gavin Newsom launched his ambitious 10-year plan to end homelessness in San Francisco back in the 2000s. Despite pouring in over $24 billion statewide, the situation has only gotten worse as homelessness across California is skyrocketing. This is not sustainable. And this is a short story with Nick.
Millions of dollars have been spent only for the situation to get worse. Thousands.
Where are we going right now, Darren?
We are entering what has become known as Kamalaville.
Yeah, everybody. Now, this is the hometown of Kamala Harris. We are in Oakland.
Sorry, here we go.
Right now.
The country is considered to be the most underdeveloped, poverty-stricken, marginalized regions of the world, often characterized by populations with little to no political connection, living in nomadic communities or as part of tribes. Extreme poverty. This is not the America we grew up in. If my grandparents were alive, they would be sick to their stomachs. They're probably rolling in their graves right now. Oakland, this should be the Palo Alto, right? Oakland could have been the Palo Alto, but it wasn't safe enough to invest in. So everyone had to go to San Jose. And now we have a massive exodus. The Warriors basketball team, the Oakland Athletic A's, and the Oakland Raiders, they all got the hell out of Dodge. And now this community has become a mecca for the destitute. You guys are going to see some horrible stuff, man. When we get to Lake Merritt, it's going to be horrible. So
okay, we might just be able to. Blade, is this normal to see out here?
Nope, not on the record. Right?
I'm not going down like that. We're not going down like that. The people who voted for me deserve to have their voices heard and communities prioritized. I'm seeking the truth right now, just as much as you all are. But I will not be bullied, and I will not be disparaged, and I will not be threatened out of this office. There are a lot of radical right-wing forces who know they will never win an election in Oakland fair and square. They know their extreme views are at odds with our Oakland values, but they have built the rules to protect and preserve their power and maintain dominance over the rest of us. We are a threat to that order. I know that. The people who supports me know that. The You see, this was never going to be an easy fight. But I tell you, it's most definitely a fight worth winning. I will continue to lift up those most vulnerable, to lead by example, to prove that this system might not be designed for us, but we can and we will build a brighter future for our children. This is my mission as your mayor. And I think.
Yeah. This, again, these people are bought and paid for, as we know. And by the way, someone asked about, oh, by the way, Rachel, I'm sorry to hear about your 6 nieces and nephews. Tragic. And we've all experienced that, me included. So sorry, and prayers are up for your family. Hunter says, Dave, how far away from the Castaic gas explosion did you live? This is what's going on with Castaic gas line explosion. This is the 5 freeway north of Los Angeles has been closed, and a shelter-in-place order has been issued to residents in Castaic. Castaic was about maybe 30, 40 minutes from where I was in Topanga. No, a little bit, probably farther. But that's a major, hub there. And for transportation. So shutting down the 5 is a really, really big deal. But this is what's going on there, is that gas explosion. So, so my friends, too many DEI in important positions. God bless your niece. Absolutely, Sarge. Mother-in-law and sister-in-law died from the shot too. My father and my brother, as many of you know, Moderna. Father, myocarditis. My brother, turbo cancer, glioblastoma. It was very sad Christmas not having them with us, but I tell you, they were there. And it was very, very, very touching to know that they were with us. Jingle, California is like another planet. Every time I worked there, I would get the weirdest vibes. Yeah, it's a messed up. Thank you, Sarge, praying for everyone in the chat. Thank you for that, brother. So much anger. I've had a difficult time with my anger, Rachel, and just no. I mean, people have criticized me for, being a Trump supporter, having him step up the warp speed. But I know that the clot shot was not what he was working on. And he never forced it on anybody, and just, got that for the people that couldn't go outside their home unless they had a vaccine. And that was like 76% of the population needed a vaccine. My friends, I'm going to wrap up tonight's show. I just want to say thank you for those of you who have donated. If not, I just dropped in the chat if you'd like to. I want to thank Dina Gildner again for your donation that changed my week significantly, and all of you who sent Christmas cards, Christmas wishes, Christmas prayers, donations to get on the wheel this past week on Tuesday night, for helping me have a wonderful Christmas for my daughter. I didn't get much, and but my daughter had a nice Christmas, and that's what that is really about. And honestly, I had a wonderful Christmas as well. And the 2 biggest gifts that were hits, I got at a thrift store, and for less than $10. I mean, it was, it's not about the money. It's about the thoughtfulness and the love and the acknowledgement of another. And that really made it a very special special Christmas for us all. And I want to thank you all for helping to make that possible for me, for my family, and to, really to strengthen my resolve and support my work here and my, 1,500 shows. We surpassed 1,500 shows. A week and a half ago, maybe, over 7 years. And I was in this fight for another 10 on top of that on Facebook and posting and sharing. And it has been, it has been my mission. And I am just grateful to you all who have, made the dissemination of all this very valuable information, making it a priority. And that's why Q has us in the huddle, folks, because we are a part of this team and we are part of winning this game. And those are the only people allowed in the huddles, whether it be football, basketball, baseball, whatever it is. The people in the huddle are the people that have the ability to change the outcome of the game. And you and I are in that huddle. Q has put us in that huddle. And I'm very grateful to the Q operation. I'm very grateful to President Trump and his team. And I am looking forward to hopefully these banks failing because of the silver. They're going to try to lower the silver price because the banks are suffering greatly for those banks that shorted silver. But, China is paying a premium on silver. Shanghai is paying $20 over spot for silver to make sure that they get enough. There's a shortage on silver. That's a huge factor right now. So we're seeing the changing of things happening. I believe we're going to have a revaluation of the currency very soon. I believe we're going to see the Fed fall very soon. I believe that we're going to see these leaders like Tim Walz and Gavin Newsom fall very soon. I believe we're going to see more and more people being exposed by these Epstein files that are going to fall very soon. And it's going to be glorious. So keep the faith, hold the line. I will probably be off tomorrow night, but be back Monday night unless something major happens. I just want to say thank you all who have joined us on X, on Rumble, on YouTube, at Dave Snedeker on YouTube, the IndoctriNATION on Rumble, the IndoctriNATION no space. D Live, who are joining us on D Live. And for those of you on X, tonight you made us, let me see here. I'm sharing the Nick Shirley post from California as well. And live on X right now, we are, there's a lot of people on X right now. That's awesome. Seeing who's up. So I don't know what number we're on. Oh, live on X. We're number 1 right now, I think. Yeah. Here's live on X. Let me bring that up. So I thank you all who are over on X that are joining us. And here's live on X, David Snedeker. 1,000 plus. I think we're at like 1,200, almost 1,300 over on X. Trader Girl Q, GB News, Patrick Gunnels, Tron, NDTV. So thank you for making us number 1 on X, and please share this out. And I appreciate all those who share it, and tag somebody if you will. We're almost at 1,300 on X. Tag somebody if you will on X that you think should, see this Truthcast, somebody that could maybe elevate this show to where I believe it should be, which I believe, and you have told me countless times that if we aren't the best show on the internet right now, that we are certainly one of them. one of the top ones. If you want to check out crypto, please check out Kraken. That would that Moonbeam just posted is on Rumble right now, I think. Yeah, on Rumble, and I'll post that over on what do you call it? Excuse me, on YouTube. And for those of you watching on Facebook as well, we're on Facebook as well. Although I didn't broadcast directly to Facebook, I shared a link. This is our channel on Facebook at Dave Snedeker. And so thank you for those 235 over on YouTube and we're watching. So yeah, my friends, this is some really good stuff happening, and I hope you're feeling that as well, because it is just it's a way for us to really connect with the truth, and I just want to thank you all for joining me in this truth, and good things to come, my friends. Good things to come. Much love to you. Enjoy your Saturday night. Enjoy your Sunday. Unhook when you can, as best you can, and come back stronger, wiser, more at peace than you were before. And I wish that for all of you. Good night. Thanks for joining me. Thanks for making us #1 on X tonight. Much love to you, and happy holidays. Merry Christmas. And I hope you're really enjoying your time with yourself, with your loved ones, and as best you can. Much love. Good night.